Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here today. I just arrived, but I see that you have had a great program here already last 2 days, and very important and interesting topic when you have been speaking about cyber security. Because one thing is very clear, that cyber security is no longer a niche technical issue. It's very much the key for our resilience when we speak about our societies, but also it's very critical for our economic security and of course for all our defense also. We are really living at times when everything can be weaponized, like we have seen, and we have to be prepared for that. And often cyber attacks, they are part of bigger hybrid threats we are nowadays facing. So destabilizing actions against our democracies and their cyber is playing an important role. And cyber threats we are also facing today, they are not only about the digital realm, because they have real-life consequences, as we know. They range from state-sponsored malicious cyber operations to ransomware groups or AI-driven disinformation campaigns. And they target European critical infrastructures. Energy, health, and subsea cables has been prime targets during the last months. It's also clear that the attack surfaces, they are expanding all the time. Also, the lines between civilian and military, they are getting more and more blurred. Even as the threats become more interconnected, we have seen that our responses often remain too much in silos. So governments and businesses and international organizations must also now break down these silos to be effective in this sector. So we need better cooperation, also more information sharing and joint action. Cybersecurity is a matter of strategic security, and it demands a whole of society approach. Dear audience, unfortunately, all signs, also from the last days, they indicate that in 2025, the geopolitical situation will continue to be more and more complex. It will be a key driver also for malicious cyber operations, that's for sure, whether on their own or part of more complex and hybrid attacks. And this stresses the urgent need for unified global governance that can keep pace. Coordinated responses with strategic international partners are necessary. This includes enhanced EU-NATO cooperation. In Europe, we have significantly improved the EU cybersecurity framework. We have put in place mechanisms that allow us to act promptly. Now the focus will be on implementation, but also in simplification of these rules. And also the testing and training processes in practice is playing an important role now. Two landmark laws, the NIS2 Directive and the Cyber Resilience Act, they have entered to implementation phase, and they are meant to set now very high cybersecurity standards for us, for entities in critical sectors, services, products, and also supply chains. And this will have a global impact. Early this year, we introduced also an action plan on preparedness and resilience in one of the most essential sectors, the healthcare system. We know that the hospitals and healthcare system is heavily under cyber attacks all the time, and often they don't have enough resources to be prepared for that. So the goal is now to strengthen capacities and also provide effective support for hospitals and healthcare providers. We also need to work on collaborative strategic response. Recent events in the Baltic Sea show the added value that EU, its member states and allies together can have to address our shared security challenges. Only by joining forces and competencies we can respond to these actions. We need a comprehensive preparedness and situational awareness. We need to be able to respond to major threats or crises. And we need to be prepared for also worst-case scenarios based on coordinated and comprehensive risk assessments. We are boosting European cyber detection capabilities through AI-enabled national and also cross-border cyber hubs, and we are bringing an EU cybersecurity reserve into an action. It means that in a spirit of EU solidarity, trusted industry providers, they can assist in case of significant cyber incidents. At the same time, we need to mainstream preparedness, foster our civilian military cooperation, as well as public-private partnerships. We will soon also propose a revision of the EU's cyber crisis management framework, so-called cyber blueprint. As we look ahead, the role of dual-use emerging technologies in cybersecurity and also our technological sovereignty, it cannot be overstated. We know that AI and quantum are transforming cyber capabilities. This will have a great impact for our economic and national security. We have to make sure that these technologies, that they are developed, secured, and also leveraged in a ways that strengthen resilience and also reduce our strategic dependencies. This is why I will work on developing a comprehensive cyber technological roadmap. It will map our dependencies and also our strengths. The roadmap will also focus on budget intervention from the EU and from the member states. This will ensure that we invest where it matters most when it comes to cybersecurity and defense. So, dear audience, the conversations that we have today here in Munich must not end here. They must translate into strengthened cross-sectorial, cross-governmental, and also reinforced international cooperation. On our side, we will make sure to continue strengthening the international cooperation on cyber. And we will do it together with all like-minded countries, together with stakeholders and industries, and of course, together with our allies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Since we have a bit of time, would you be willing to take a question?
Yes.
Yes. Who? If there's a question, or if it has already been answered, that's also fine, but maybe someone has a question. Over there, Wolfgang. Please. Well, you already know the deal. He's a frequent question asker.
Kleinwächter. I'm a retired professor from the University of Aarhus. US Vice President Vance asked in Paris this week for deregulation. You mentioned now simplification of regulation. Do you see a bridge between deregulation and simplification so that this could go together?
Yes, we are also very committed now in the European Commission side that we want to simplify the processes and we want to cut red tape and bureaucracy from our industries. In fact, I have been always very much fighting against over-regulation when it coming to all our legislation, but especially when it comes to digitalization. Because during the last 5-10 years, we can say that all the European legislation when it comes to digital world, it's from last 5-10 years. And we know that there's also many overlapping parts now. So that's why in the Commission side, we are preparing so-called omnibus, also in digital part. And it means that we are looking all our digital rules together and looking what kind of who is working with the cybersecurity, that we have massively different reporting obligations when it comes to cybersecurity. So we have to really streamline the processes and simplify also those reporting obligations and also cut those which are not necessary. And same comes, for example, when we look our most important, I think, digital regulations on online platforms, Digital Service Act, Digital Markets Act, and AI Act. They have also common in the interface, and we have to look also that where is overlapping parts, because often it's the same stakeholders, same SMEs which are under all these rules, and it can be very complicated for them. So that's what we are now doing. We are not like, I'm not calling it deregulating, but we are simplifying, we are cutting red tape, administrative burden, and looking the overlapping parts that how we can simplify those. And also GDPR will be part of so-called fitness check, because we know that with GDPR we have challenges because all the member states, they have been implementing it a little bit different way in the European Union, and it's also one of our challenges that sometimes our market is still fragmented, even that it's meant to be one single market, but sometimes there's different rules in different member states, and of course it's not encouraging innovations and investments like it should do. So that's what we are now doing, and the whole European Commission is very committed to that. We just published our work program 2025 in this week, and simplification and cutting red tape and bureaucracy, it plays a very important role in all the actions in this year.
Excellent. Thank you very much. There was one very last question. We only have one. There's two, however, who want to ask a question. But Luigi, you were first, so if you could please stand up and then get the microphone.
Thank you.
And then we keep it short if that's possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm Luigi Rebuffi. I'm the founder of European Cybersecurity Organization, which is the PPP with the Commission 9 years ago, and Women for Cyber Foundation. And so I'm discussing with the Commission already for 2011 about the possibility of cybersecurity industrial policy. Because we talk about regulation, policy and so on, but the market, the industry, the sovereignty, whatever, needs also an industrial policy. We are discussing defense industrial policy. What about cybersecurity industrial policy? This is something that the Commission can take over. You do a lot of things, but we still have to have this strategy, this vision of industrial policy supporting cybersecurity and sovereignty for Europe.
Yeah, thank you for making this point, and I think it's very important also to underline the importance of this industry, because it's very much basis for all our security nowadays, and it's important also to encourage innovations and investments in this area, and especially when we speak also our technological sovereignty in the European Union. It's very important that we are building up our own capacity in all the critical sectors, that we are not too dependent on third countries when it comes to digital actions we have to be able to take, and cybersecurity is certainly one of the most important sectors, as we know. So I thank for this idea, and I think we will continue to discuss on that. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mrs. Virkkunen. Let's close the session. Thank you very much. Thanks also for asking questions. And if there are any further questions, then please try to ask them bilaterally. Thank you very much.